are about to be a thing, and it's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. An absolutely terrible and abysmal thing. Okay, but first off, the U.S. economy is not doing very well at all. Local media reports lack of long lines at retail stores. And you just have to go to see it on screen. Click the link down below in the description. The U.S. economy is not doing very well. Okay, case in point. People could not afford Black Friday shopping. Okay? That's unheard of in the United States. Completely unheard of. All right, let's continue. SEC Chairman Gary Gensler met with head of FTX months before collapse. Okay, the point I'm going to make in this final segment of the Trevor Report is that not only are there plenty of regulations on the crypto market, that a lot of people were saying, oh, the government wasn't doing its job and watching this properly. The government was doing its job just fine. They just let FTX continue to grow because again, and I talked about this in a previous report, all previous reports linked down below in the description, the neocon neo-lib uniparty was exploiting FTX and people's and the various people that put money into FTX. They were exploiting it in order to finance their campaign for the 2022 midterms and likely the 2020 election as well. Gary Gensler, controversial tenure as chairman of Securities and Exchange Commission, could reach peak drama over a 45-minute Zoom call with Sam Bankman-Fried, the former crypto wonderkind, at the center of the largest debacle the $1 trillion digital coin industry has ever witnessed. Now, keep this in mind. The way the corporate press, okay, Wunderkind, okay, that like Wonder Kid, like he scammed like old ladies, out of their money and gave it to Democrats. Like, come on. On March 23rd, some 8 months before Bankman-Fried's crypto empire collapsed, was forced into bankruptcy. By the way, he basically just did fractional reserve banking for crypto, and it collapsed because crypto is designed to be the opposite of fractional reserve banking. As in, you actually have your money backed by something that exists, but whatever. Gensler granted what some crypto players are calling an unusual meeting to the then billionaire and prolific fundraiser for Democratic candidates, including his boss, President Biden. This is a Fox Business article saying glowing things in the beginning of this article, by the way. Just keep that in mind. While exchanges such as Coinbase, Binance, and Bankman-Fried's FTX process crypto trades for customers, they operate in a regulatory gray area without explicit SEC approval, thus opening management to possible sanctions. No. It's plenty regulated. There are plenty of laws governing this. Okay, crypto is an asset. Legally speaking, crypto is an asset. Okay? Or, sorry, legally speaking, crypto is a security, legally speaking. Okay, but let's continue. Republican lawmakers claim SEC chair was coordinating with FTX to obtain a regulatory monopoly. Tom Emmer, the recently re-elected Republican lawmaker representing Minnesota's 6th District in the United States House of Representatives, has alleged Securities and Exchange Commission Chair Gary Gensler had been helping FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried to gain a regulatory monopoly through the crypto firm. In a November 10th tweet, Emmer criticized Gensler for, quote, running to the media amid FTX liquidity issues causing ripples throughout the crypto market. According to the Republican lawmaker, his team was looking into the SEC chair's alleged collaboration with Bankman-Fried and FTX, but only cited reports presented to his office as evidence without providing details. Interesting. Gary Gensler runs to the media while reports to my office allege he was helping SBF and FTX work on legal loopholes to obtain a regulatory monopoly while we're looking into this. Tom Emmer. Okay? Let's also continue a little bit more. U.S. prosecutors opened probe of FTX months before its collapse. This is according to Bloomberg News. Okay, the Fed. Okay, FTX functioned as a sort of is functioning as a controlled opposition thing in the crypto world. While it existed, it functioned as a massive money laundering hedge fund for the neocon neolib Uniparty, mainly the neolibs on the neocon neolib Uniparty. And then, when it collapsed, very coincidentally, right after a bunch of countries are experimenting with various cryptos. Canada crypto regulation, Bitcoin ETFs, strict licensing, and a digital dollar. The first and last major attempt to encourage a comprehensive crypto framework was buried in the House of Commons on November 23rd. In October, Toronto-based Coinsquare became the first crypto trading business to get dealer registration from the Investment Industry Regulatory Organization of Canada. That means a lot, as now Coinsquare investors' funds enjoy the security of the Canadian Investment Protection Fund and the blah, 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 blah. The government is trying to get into the crypto market more and more and more. It's because the crypto market is the future, and the crypto market represents a sort of danger to the petrodollar. It represents a huge danger to government-controlled money, okay? If the government controls the money, then the government controls commerce. If the government controls commerce, the government controls you. And that's why Bitcoin, okay, you can transfer money to anyone, anywhere in the world without a bank as an intermediary. This is a huge threat to the petrodollar and a huge threat to the new reserve currency that China, Russia, India, Saudi Arabia, and one other country, I forget, are trying to make. It's a huge threat to it. Crypto, again, as I've covered in previous chart reports, I don't really care about crypto in an economic sense. I care about crypto in a political sense. Okay, full disclosure, I don't advertise it, but it's there. I have a affiliate link to a crypto exchange that has like experimental bots that trade crypto. I've made some money from it. I've lost some money from it. Again, you do like trades and stuff at your own risk, but I personally do not care about crypto in an economic sense. Okay, I just sort of, for me, if I'm going to decentralize my presence in the public square, I'm going to decentralize my finances as well. Okay, because, and as we'll get into very, very soon, it's a really good idea, especially with the really terrible things that are about to come out nowadays. Fedance versus Harris. This is a ruling that through common law in the United States essentially is what makes crypto, legally speaking, count as a security, and securities are regulated in the United States. They are insufferably regulated in the United States. Okay, let's continue. CIA director says agency currently has a number of different crypto projects focused on crypto. CIA Director William Burns said his predecessor at the United States government agency initiated projects focused on gathering intelligence on cryptocurrency. Finding a question on crypto at the Wall Street Journal CEO Council Summit on Monday, Burns said the CIA was looking to add expertise in cryptocurrencies and blockchain to its team of intelligence analysts. In addition to communicating with industry experts, he said the challenges from the crypto space, quote, could have numerous impact on the U.S. given that what we have seen in ransomware attacks. Now, translation. This is a threat to the petrodollar. The petrodollar is what makes the United States the world empire that it is. without the petrodollar and controlling finance for half the world, we just have our military. We just have our nukes, and we haven't tested our nukes. So instead of doing the honorable thing and making sure our weapons work like a proper empire should, we're instead going to continue with this deceitful nonsense. Moving on. Why isn't this loading? Okay, hang on. Okay, come on. Load. Whatever, this is a website that's having trouble loading, but it was a map of all the countries that are experimenting with central bank digital currencies. And it's the world over. I hope the link works eventually, but right now the link isn't working for me. I don't know why the link isn't working for me. It's just not working for me. So there's this. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission framework for investment contracts and digital assets. If you are considering an initial coin offering, sometimes referred to as an ICO, or otherwise engaging in the offer, sale, or distribution of a digital asset, you need to consider whether the U.S. federal securities law applies. Crypto is heavily regulated. Okay, crypto, by the way, is more regulated than the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar, okay, is a note, and people exchange the U.S. dollar just fine, and nothing happens. Okay, but the Fed is creating a central bank digital currency where let's just read. CBDC, central bank digital currency, is generally defined as a digital liability of a central bank that is widely available to the general public. Today in the United States, Federal Reserve notes, i.e. physical currency, are the only type of central bank money available to the general public. Like existing forms of money, CBDC would enable the general public to make digital payments. As a liability of the Federal Reserve, however, a CBDC would be the safest digital asset available to the general public with no associated credit or liquidity risk. Now, assets are regulated differently than notes. First off, if it's a digital asset, then it allows them to circumnavigate the Fourth Amendment. It just does. If it's and there are many other things too. With a central bank digital currency, they could say, there's this much money in the money supply today. Sorry, poor people. Here you go, Smithsonian Institute. Here's all of the billion in the current money supply, which they've done. The Fed has printed money and given $1 billion to the Smithsonian Institute during a global pandemic. Not so good, you know. And if you really want to know, the chairman of the Federal Reserve said this. Oh my God, that is stupidly quiet. Hang on.
Proceed or not, but we issued a discussion paper in January of this year, and we said that we think that there are 4 characteristics of, if we were to pursue a CBDC, it would at a minimum have the following 4 characteristics. First is intermediated. Second is privacy protected. The third is identity verified. So it would not be
identity verified and wouldn't be anonymous. You cannot engage in anonymous commerce because that's a threat. You know, okay. If this is allowed, okay, people need to go onto the streets and protest, okay? If this is allowed to occur in the United States, this is the end of everything. For one, what we need to do is we need to put digital/physical documents onto the Fourth Amendment. That's the first thing that we need to do. Okay, the second thing we need to do, that's the second thing that we need to do. The first thing we need to do, the Fed cannot be allowed to have a digitalized fiat currency. That cannot happen. A digitalized fiat currency, for one, absolutely worthless. Absolutely worthless. No point in trusting that. Second, okay, it can be programmed. Domestic terrorists aren't allowed to engage in commerce. Okay, it's an asset, not a note. Also, we will arbitrarily declare anyone we disagree with politically as domestic terrorists. This right here is America's social credit system. It cannot be allowed to happen. And that was the reason for the emergency stream. In the meantime, my name is Trevor Brown. You just watched the Trevor Report. Do click the support link down below in the description, because what we need to do, the people who are in opposition to this, we need to become invincible. That's what we need to do. We need to become a powerful cultural and economic bloc so that when these evil lunatics decide to do their bullshit, we can go, nah, fuck you. That's what we need to do. And yeah, so I'll see you on Monday, where I'm going to be doing a full context article review from an article from Revolver Magazine. Haven't done that in a while, and so yeah, catch you all on the next one.
Acropolis News. News from the Acropolis.